Badass Buckeye here. What's going on, Bucknuts? That game against Northwestern is really embarrassing. It's embarrassing because Northwestern was 109th against stopping the run, and we couldn't do anything until the very end when Williams busted out that long run. We should have had 200 yards rushing by halftime if we would put 2-3 tight ends in there and just ran the ball. The wind was 30 to 40 miles an hour all game, which means, of course, no one could pass in those kind of conditions. It was impossible, except maybe little short dinkers and all that stuff. C.J. Stroud had more rushing yards than passing. What does that tell you about how the conditions were, the weather was that day? Of course, that'll be the first time, maybe the only time that will ever happen, and we had more rushing yards than passing yards. He'll be gone into the end of this season. Maybe he'll go in the first round next year. That's what it's looking like. But this game was a total embarrassing. All you read about or hear about is that how we are not a playoff team. And that might be true. The last 3 weeks, we've had a hard time running the ball. And we'll stay with Northwestern. Northwestern, with a weak run defense, we had a hard time pushing them off and making the holes to run the ball in. That's what kills me. We got all these 4 and 5 stars. We should have had no problem pushing them off. I don't know if the ground was so slippery they couldn't slip, but no, I can't say that's it because the Northwestern running back, he had more yards. He had over 100 yards rushing. He had more yards rushing than our running backs. That's what's hard to take. I couldn't figure that part out. How is that even possible? Let's talk about our D-line, how bad that was. I was watching that game, and we were getting pushed out on the edge. Who's the guy? I can't pronounce his last name. JTT, we'll just call him. I saw a couple of times where he was just getting pushed out of the way, and they were just, the running back was making his cuts. So it was embarrassing to watch Northwestern run the ball like they did against us. Oh, I mean, they knew they couldn't pass the ball, so we were just going to run it, and they did. So it was 7-7 at halftime, and it's just really hard to take. I mean, all I've heard on other channels was that how bad Ohio State play, and we're not a playoff team, and then that could very well be the truth. If we had to play another team in the top 10 right now, the way we played the last 3 weeks, pretty good chance we're not going to win that game because we've had a hard time establishing the run. I think our O-line's hurt, and of course, you read about, which is keeping quiet, and the running backs are hurt. I mean, reading about reports, Williams is in and out, Henderson's in and out. So hold that thought. I got to get my dog online. All right, this is Badass Rusty. Say hi, Badass Rusty. What's going on? He says Shih Tzu. I guess you spell that T-Z-U, and then I don't know what, C-H-I or something. Anyway, 17 months old, as big as they get. So this guy was barking like crazy, and I'm out of breath. I had to chase him under the couch, under the table, through the garage. All right, so you want to make your own YouTube channel? I'm going to go ahead and finish this. All right, so the way we're going now with Ohio State and the way they're playing, it's cause for concern here. We were running the ball before that bye week we had a few weeks ago. We were running the ball very well. If you look at the last 3 weeks before that bye week and look at the last 3 weeks after the bye week, we can't run the ball. It's like our O-line said, hey, man, I'm beat up. I'm tired. I'm going to go on vacation for a while. That's what exactly they've been doing because we haven't been really muscling anyone out of the way. We got all these 4 and 5 stars. I have to assume they're hurt. They're beat up. They're just trying to get by. I don't know to the extent because they keep the injuries quiet on the O-line, but we know Henderson and Williams has been hurt. I mean, they've been in and out of games. So going forward, we got Indiana next week. All you hear about is that we're going to drop the polls. If we do, we do. Michigan's right behind us. And if they do pass us, we play them in a few weeks. And I'm sure we're scheduled. I'm assuming they're going to win that game. And we'll be back in the playoff contention. If we beat Michigan, go to the Big Ten championship, and then the rest will be history. So until we get our act together with the O-line and D-line, because our D-line was getting pushed out of the way. So we got to improve. I know it was a lackluster game by Ohio State. It was very embarrassing to watch. It's the 3rd week in a row. I know there are a million Buckeye fans out there. You can improve it by subscribing. At least help me get over 100. I would appreciate it. Thank you very much for your time.